Welcome to this guided meditation on inner child and shadow work, designed to help you reconnect, release, and nurture your inner self. Today, you're choosing to invest time in self-care to deepen your connection to yourself. Let's begin by focusing on the rhythm of your breath as you walk, becoming aware of your surroundings and setting an intention to be fully present in this experience. Start by breathing in deeply, filling your lungs completely, and slowly exhale, releasing any tension you may feel. Continue this rhythm in and out. Notice the natural pace of your steps and how it aligns with your breathing. Feel the air enter your lungs, refreshing and renewing. And as you exhale, imagine any lingering stress or worry dissipating, carried away with each breath. Begin to focus on your surroundings. Observe the colors, the sounds, and the textures around you. Appreciate the beauty of this moment and the opportunity you're giving yourself. Quietly thank yourself for taking this time, for showing up today to do this important inner work. Now that you're grounded, let's explore the themes of inner child and shadow work. These terms are often mentioned, but what do they truly mean? Inner child work involves connecting with and listening to that part of yourself that still holds the emotions, needs, and perspectives from childhood. It's about allowing the child within you to express any unmet needs or hidden emotions, offering them the care and validation they may not have received before. Shadow work, on the other hand, involves looking at the part of ourselves we might have pushed away or suppressed, the feelings, traits, or memories that we'd rather ignore because they may bring discomfort, guilt, or shame. It's called shadow because these parts often linger in the unconscious, affecting us in ways we may not realize. Inner child and shadow work, though they may seem different, are deeply connected. Both aim to integrate and heal past wounds, allowing us to become more authentic, whole, and aware. Much of this work often leads us back to childhood experiences. As children, we're like sponges, absorbing everything around us, including any difficult or traumatic events. This can range from big, obvious traumas like loss, neglect, or abuse, to smaller but impactful events like being criticized, feeling unloved, or experiencing feelings of inadequacy. Maybe you were made to feel you weren't good enough, or you learned to hide certain emotions because they were too much for others. Perhaps you grew up in a household where love felt conditional or where vulnerability wasn't safe. These experiences shape the beliefs and patterns we carry into adulthood, often without us realizing it. When we hold on to these unprocessed feelings, they can manifest in adult life. A fear of rejection, difficulty trusting others, perfectionism, or even self-sabotage. These might be signs of unresolved inner child or shadow issues. Let's dive deeper into the concept of inner child work, exploring how it can guide us in reconnecting with and nurturing the younger, vulnerable parts of ourselves that may still carry unprocessed emotions or unmet needs. Inner child work is the process of becoming aware of and healing the part of yourself that still thinks, feels, or responds as you did in childhood. Psychologically, the inner child represents our original self, our pure, unconditioned self before layers of life experience, social conditioning, and traumas shaped us. This child is still within us, holding memories, desires, fears, and ways of seeing the world that are often frozen in time. When we engage in inner child work, we revisit those parts to help them grow, heal, and integrate. The goal is to understand and reconnect with your inner child, not to suppress or ignore it. By giving this part of yourself permission to express feelings and needs, you can release old emotional wounds and improve your current self-worth, self-compassion, and overall well-being. Many of us carry unprocessed emotions from our early years. Childhood is when we are most impressionable and vulnerable. It's when our core beliefs about ourselves, others, and the world around us are formed. If we experience neglect, invalidation, or trauma, these experiences can impact how we view ourselves and how we function as adults. For instance, a child who felt unloved might grow up with self-worth issues, while one who experienced rejection might develop a fear of intimacy. Without recognizing these inner child wounds, they often continue to operate subconsciously, influencing our adult relationships, behaviors, and responses. Inner child work allows us to recognize these patterns, offering a pathway to healing and self-acceptance. Here are a few ways inner child work might manifest in practice. Self-compassion exercises. Imagine comforting your inner child as you would a real child. Visualize them at a specific age when you felt most vulnerable or hurt. Picture yourself sitting with them, holding them, or speaking kind, reassuring words. This might look like saying, "It's okay, you did nothing wrong," or "You're safe now, I'm here for you." This can bring a sense of reassurance and safety, helping your inner child feel loved and seen. Reflecting on core beliefs. Consider beliefs or recurring thoughts that might stem from your childhood, such as, "I'm not good enough," or "I have to be perfect to be loved." Write these beliefs down and reflect on where they originated. Ask yourself if these beliefs are true or if they were shaped by your environment. Gently challenge these beliefs by rewriting them in a positive light. For example, if your inner child believed, "I'm not lovable," reframe it to, "I am deserving of love exactly as I am." Identifying triggers. Notice when you react strongly to certain situations or emotions as an adult. Often these reactions are the voice of your inner child coming forward, still protecting itself in ways it learned years ago. For instance, if rejection or criticism sends you into a spiral, it might be your inner child reliving a painful memory of being rejected or criticized. Recognize that these feelings are coming from your inner child and consciously choose to respond with understanding rather than automatic defensiveness or avoidance. Journaling conversations with your inner child. Sit down and write a letter to your younger self, perhaps to an age when you felt especially alone, hurt, or confused. Tell your inner child things you wish they'd heard back then, such as affirmations of love, pride, or validation. You might also write from your inner child's perspective, giving them the space to voice any feelings they still hold. This can help bring hidden emotions to light and clarify what your inner child still needs to feel safe and whole. Visualizations and guided imagery. Imagine visiting your childhood home, a place or room where you felt safe, or a favorite playground. Visualize meeting your inner child there and having a conversation with them. Listen to what they might say or how they react. Picture yourself holding their hand, hugging them, or playing with them. These visualizations can be very healing, helping you connect to your younger self's emotional needs and to provide the care they may not have received back then. Childhood events that may necessitate inner child work don't always have to be major traumas. They can also be smaller, recurring experiences that impact self-perception and emotional development. Here are some examples. Emotional neglect. If a child's emotions were dismissed, they might grow up feeling that their feelings are unimportant or burdensome. This can lead to difficulty expressing emotions as an adult. Conditional love or approval. Children who were only praised for achievements may believe they are only valuable when successful, leading to perfectionism or fear of failure in adulthood. Rejection or bullying. If a child experienced social rejection or bullying, they might carry insecurity or distrust in relationships, fearing rejection even from those who care about them. Through inner child work, you can gradually release these old patterns and make space for new, healthier beliefs. By nurturing your inner child, you cultivate self-acceptance, repair your self-worth, and start responding to life from a place of love, rather than fear or insecurity. This healing doesn't happen overnight, and it's okay to take it slow. With each step, you are teaching your inner child that they are safe, valued, and worthy unconditionally. Let's take a closer look at what shadow work actually involves. Shadow work is about acknowledging these hidden parts without judgment, bringing them to light so they can no longer control us unconsciously. This might mean identifying patterns in your reactions or behaviors, recognizing when you're being triggered, or journaling about difficult memories or emotions. For example, you might notice yourself feeling insecure in relationships. Shadow work could mean exploring where this feeling comes from, understanding that it may stem from past rejection or a sense of abandonment in childhood. By bringing it to the surface, you create an opportunity to heal, to affirm your worth, and to let go of old wounds that no longer serve you. Sometimes shadow work may evoke strong emotions, which is entirely natural. For some, this work is best done with the support of a therapist or counselor, someone who can provide guidance and support, especially when memories or emotions feel overwhelming. Don't hesitate to seek that support if needed. Doing so is a powerful act of self-love. Let's delve further into shadow work, a powerful self-awareness practice that helps us uncover and heal parts of ourselves that we may have pushed away or kept hidden. This can lead to greater authenticity, emotional freedom, and a more integrated sense of self. Shadow work is the process of exploring and integrating the shadow aspects of ourselves, the parts we may feel uncomfortable acknowledging or expressing. Psychologist Carl Jung coined the term shadow to describe the unconscious aspects of our personality that we reject or suppress, often because they seem socially unacceptable or conflict with the image we want to project. These shadow parts aren't necessarily bad or negative. They can include any traits, behaviors, or feelings we've hidden because they didn't fit with how we felt we needed to be in the world. Our shadow might contain anger, jealousy, insecurity, selfishness, vulnerability, or even our unacknowledged strengths and desires. Unaddressed, these shadow elements don't simply disappear. They influence our behavior from the background, affecting our relationships, self-esteem, and emotional well-being. Shadow work helps us bring these parts to light, examine them without judgment, and learn how to integrate them in healthy, constructive ways. By engaging in shadow work, we allow ourselves to become more complete and authentic. When we ignore our shadow, we're often acting from a place of reactivity, shame, or self-protection. Bringing our shadow aspects into conscious awareness helps us understand our underlying fears, motivations, and patterns, allowing us to make more intentional choices. Shadow work can improve our relationships, reduce anxiety, and promote self-compassion. When we can embrace all parts of ourselves, we feel less need to hide or pretend, which can lead to a greater sense of inner peace and wholeness. Shadow work can be a deeply personal journey, and there are various methods to explore it. Here are some effective ways to start healing through shadow work. Identify and observe your triggers. Pay attention to situations or people who evoke strong emotional reactions in you, especially feelings like anger, jealousy, or resentment. Often our triggers reveal parts of ourselves we may have disowned. For instance, if you're often upset by people who seem arrogant, it could indicate a shadow aspect where you've suppressed your own need for recognition or self-worth. Reflect on these reactions without judgment. Ask yourself why you feel so triggered and what it might be saying about unacknowledged parts of yourself. Practice non-judgmental self-reflection. Set aside time to think or journal about the qualities in yourself that you tend to disown or feel ashamed of. Write down aspects of your personality you may have been criticized for, or emotions you've been taught to hide, such as anger or neediness. Instead of labeling these parts as bad, try to observe them with curiosity. Consider why they developed and how they may have served you in the past. Often our shadow parts were once coping mechanisms we adopted to feel safe, accepted, or valued. Inner dialogue. Shadow work often involves a process of inner dialogue where you have a conversation with a part of yourself you usually ignore or deny. For example, if you're dealing with jealousy, imagine sitting down with the part of yourself that feels jealous. Ask it questions like, why do you feel this way? What are you protecting me from? What do you need? Listen without judgment and try to understand where these feelings are coming from. This dialogue can help you see these emotions as a part of you that needs understanding, not suppression. Mirror work. This exercise involves standing in front of a mirror and making eye contact with yourself. Say things you'd normally avoid acknowledging, like, I am angry, I feel insecure, or I want more attention. Mirror work can be powerful because it forces you to confront aspects of yourself directly. Try to practice self-compassion as you say these things. Recognize that it's okay to feel this way, and that these emotions are part of being human. Reframe negative qualities. Many qualities we hide in our shadow have positive sides when expressed in balance. For example, anger can be a sign that our boundaries have been crossed. Jealousy can reveal our unmet needs. And pride can inspire us to pursue our goals. By reframing these qualities, we can appreciate their positive intentions and learn how to express them in healthy ways. Think of a trait you dislike in yourself and write down how it has helped you or what its purpose might be. This reframing helps you accept these traits rather than suppress them, making it easier to integrate them into your conscious self. Creative expression. Sometimes words alone aren't enough. Creative practices like drawing, Painting or writing poetry can be a powerful way to express parts of your shadow. These activities allow emotions to flow naturally, often bypassing the mental filters that might otherwise judge or censor them. Let yourself create without worrying about the outcome. Focus on expressing what feels hidden, messy, or imperfect. Embracing creativity in this way can provide a healthy outlet for your shadow emotions and help you see them in a new light. To give a clearer picture, here are a few common shadow aspects and examples of how to work with them. Perfectionism. If you notice a pattern of needing things to be perfect, ask yourself where this need originates. It could stem from a fear of failure or a desire for validation. Try to sit with this feeling, recognizing that it's okay to make mistakes and that your worth is not tied to your accomplishments. Embrace small acts of imperfection, like allowing a project to be good enough rather than perfect. This challenges your perfectionistic tendencies and encourages self-acceptance. People-pleasing. Many people pleasers have a shadow aspect related to a fear of rejection or a need to feel needed. In shadow work, you might explore the roots of this pattern, such as an experience in childhood where you felt only valued when you helped others. Practicing small acts of assertiveness, like saying no to a request you'd normally say yes to, can help balance your desire to please others with the need to honor your own boundaries. Anger and resentment. If you feel uncomfortable with anger, it may mean you were taught as a child that anger was unacceptable. In shadow work, you might recognize that anger is a natural emotion that signals a boundary has been crossed or a need has been ignored. Instead of suppressing anger, try healthy ways of releasing it, such as physical exercise or expressing your feelings in a journal. Over time, you may feel more comfortable expressing anger assertively rather than hiding it. Envy. If you feel envy towards someone's success or possessions, it could be highlighting your own unmet desires. Instead of feeling ashamed of envy, use it as a guide to understand what you want. Ask yourself, what do I admire about this person? How can I work towards something similar in my own life? This practice transforms envy from a painful emotion into a source of inspiration, helping you acknowledge and pursue your own aspirations. Shadow work is a journey, and it's perfectly okay if it feels challenging or uncomfortable. The goal is not to get rid of these parts, but to integrate them, recognizing that all aspects of yourself have a place and purpose. Healing through shadow work requires patience, gentleness, and often a willingness to ask for help if needed, such as working with a therapist who can guide you through difficult emotions. Ultimately, shadow work is about self-acceptance. By shining a light on these hidden parts, we free ourselves from the fear, shame, and guilt that often surround them. With time and practice, shadow work can help us feel more balanced, whole, and true to ourselves, making space for a fuller, more authentic experience of life. As we near the end of this journey, take a moment to recognize the profound benefits that come from healing and working with both your inner child and shadow self. Inner child work reconnects you with the vulnerable, creative, and authentic parts of yourself, helping you meet unmet needs, increase self-worth, and find greater compassion. Shadow work allows you to acknowledge and integrate the parts of yourself you may have hidden, leading to self-acceptance, emotional freedom, and healthier relationships. Together, these practices cultivate a sense of wholeness. By embracing all parts of yourself, your light and shadow, your child and adult, you become more balanced, resilient, and true to who you are. This work invites a deep inner peace, allowing you to live more openly and authentically. Thank yourself for taking this time to connect, heal, and grow. With each breath, feel your body, mind, and spirit aligning in harmony, carrying this newfound sense of self with you as you continue forward. As we reach the end of our walk, gently bring your focus back to your breath. Feel the sensation of the air flowing in and out of your lungs, the rhythm of your steps. Once again, take a moment to observe your surroundings, noticing the colors, the lights, the sounds around you. Let a sense of gratitude fill you for your courage, for the progress you've made, and for the compassion you've shown yourself. Take a deep breath in, inhaling strength and renewal. Exhale, releasing any heaviness that may have surfaced. Feel the peace within your body, mind, and spirit. Gently thank yourself for taking this time and for your willingness to embrace this journey of self-discovery and healing. And when you're ready, continue with your day, carrying with you a deeper connection to yourself and a commitment to honoring and nurturing all parts of who you are.